players in the market took note. Rumor spread of a planned IPO. Is this a new Google moment? Within months of product launch, a seemingly obscure patent holder emerged claiming infringement. The dream quickly unraveled. Sales halted, product redesigns mandated, and $1 million lawsuit ensued. The company, the former startup, once on the brink of glory, found itself fighting for survival, all because one critical step was overlooked: a diligent FTO search and analysis to avoid infringing on third-party IP. Today, we will put ourselves in the shoes of that startup and explore precisely what should have taken place step by step before going to market with a new and innovative product. Welcome everyone, and thank you for joining today's session. My name is Jens Schlehan and I'm a product expert at Questel, and I will be walking you through today's topic, FTO searching in orbit intelligence. Before we begin, I'd like to mention that this session is being recorded, and in a few days' time, we'll share both the recording and the presentation with you, so you'll be able to revisit the material at your own pace. The webinar will last approximately 30 minutes and will be followed by a Q&A session, so please feel free to note down questions within the Q&A tool as we go along through the session. I will answer at the end of the session or follow up in writing. Before we look at search and review features, we have to establish a common basic understanding on what freedom to operate FTO refers to and where it is supposed to take place or when. Imagine we are product managers preparing to launch an innovation as a commercial product. What is the process and what are the junctions in a big picture kind of way? After the initial vetting of the inventive idea, a novelty search might be conducted to learn about existing solutions. If it looks promising and our development process progressed, the next step is a freedom to operate search to confirm we won't infringe valid patents held by others. There's no strict rule when to do it, but conventional wisdom dictates do it after it's too fuzzy, before it is too late. You need specifics to be able to run the search, and you want to do it before your product is finalized to avoid costly re-engineering. And if we have the resources, we do one FTO after it's too fuzzy and one before it's too late. And depending on the outcome of your FTO search or your multiple searches, you have further options to overcome blocking issues like avoiding active third-party IP by working around, pursue licensing activities, oppose or invalidate blocking patents, or you might have to abandon your product. After this process, product management can launch the product with minimized risk. The question now is how to do a freedom to operate search. Zooming in, we need to think about how to start the search. What do we need to start looking in a patent database? Let's revisit after it's too fuzzy, before it's too late. After it's too fuzzy means we cannot do the search without proper output of our engineers. It needs to be specific enough to apply filters on the databases. It will be difficult to assess FTO just based on an invention disclosure or a fluffy idea. A product specification, at least preliminary, will suffice. This allows me to understand how to start searching, extracting keywords, or even revisit finished novelty searches. All of this can support or jumpstart my search. Before it's too late is more relevant in business terms. If your development progressed too far, it might be necessary to go back to the drawing board, translating to sunk costs. If you're way too late and already commercialized, you might be faced with legal costs, injunctions, product recalls. Ouch. So we need a tool that allows us to access and search global patent information, a tool that is reliable, great coverage, good data quality that supports users start to finish in finding, assessing, and reviewing patents. So what's usually being done is starting with a landscape, a broad search, focusing on finding patents in the area. And then once we have that, bit by bit, we start narrowing it down, limiting even to a country level clearance for particular jurisdictions. We limit to alive and claims only. And by reducing the funnel and the scope until we understand what's claimed and alive, we thereby get the understanding what can be used against our product in our markets. And this is really the essence of FTO searching. When we look at how IP professionals traditionally run a patent search, the workflow usually follows a standard practice. Understanding your invention or product and deriving your search query, reviewing the hit list, analyzing references, and finally preparing a report. This process is systematic, reliable, and tested, but it's also manual and time-consuming. It's the Boolean search, and it's where we are coming from. This can be done via Orbit Intelligence advanced search form. AI can support our searching efforts and save time. In the past weeks and months, Orbit Intelligence has received many innovative features. Starting point is still the understanding of our search topic, our product. Search query creation, reviewing, and reading are improved and sped up by leveraging AI. And then there's another level, Sophia Search, a semantic search based on state-of-the-art technology, which also offers feature-based search, especially interesting for FTO. What's really important to understand here, we are not limited to individual rows in this visual here. It's pick and choose. We can switch between all of these components as needed. It's not sequential in any kind of way. It's pick and choose and combine as necessary. So we can be really pragmatic here. For this webinar, we use a product specification for a shoe with an integrated heating system as the basis. Our job is to break it down into key features, as you can see here. And then we use these key features to build a search strategy around it. This is our starting point. Now, how do we assess FTO starting here? Up for first serve is Orbit Intelligence advanced search, like the traditional and powerful way of doing Boolean searching. First, we enter our reduced list of components for our shoe within the heating element into the keyword fields. We can enter further synonyms as we know them, but we can also get support by Orbit Intelligence by activating the suggestions tool. Now I can expand each search keyword and add related concepts that describe the same thing. So it's very easy for me to do a very exhaustive query. Second, we limit to claims only. And here in this webinar case, I'm going to skip the broad search, the landscape search, and directly limit to the claims. Depending on your preference on how you want to execute the FTO, we can opt for Orbit's full-part database instead of the standard FAMPAT collection. Full-part has advantages when assessing FTO in specific limited jurisdiction, as it splits the patent family into individual prosecutions. It's an option, it's not mandatory, and it comes down to your personal preference. Then, for the FTO topic, usually we limit to alive patents because these patents can be used against us. And we limit to our target markets. So where do we want to go to market? These are the markets where we need to assess a live IP. This would be it with the advanced search. We did it manual now. Sophia Query is AI supported and supports us in creating a Boolean query based on natural language input. We instruct Sophia Query on what we want to do. It then creates a comprehensive search query with synonyms, automatically populated IPC classes, and considers the search type like FTO. We are always informed about the number of results and can now further instruct the bot to add more synonyms, expand the to CPC classes, or add additional criteria. And if we instruct the tool, hey, this is an FTO search, the fields searched are automatically limited to claims. Whether if I tell it it's a novelty search, it's going to be a little bit more open. So after we discussed with the bot, amended the proposed search query to our liking, we either execute the query as is, or we change it manually via the modify query button. Sophia query is available for all Orbit intelligence levels. Now we have touched upon the functionality for the traditional way of searching, as well as the shortcut way in which AI translates our input into an executable Boolean query. Now that we have executed the search query, the results are here. And now the review process begins. I must sift through numerous patterns and determine relevance to my FTO question. How does Orbit Intelligence support this phase? The highlighting in our result list helps us to identify where the searched keywords are found and saves us time from reading text without this highlight. The use in the highlighting module of proximity operators can serve additionally as conditionals, like highlight only these two words if they are less than 5 words apart, allowing you to find relevant text snippets much, much faster. Any highlighting scheme can be saved and reused later on. And it's very simple, it's very basic, it's not AI-based, but I cannot overemphasize this feature. It's really helping in the reviewing process. Secondly, the display adaptability is so the display is very adaptable and can be customized to different needs. Everybody has a different preference, and we can pick and choose how we want to have the results presented. If you have multiple monitors, it can be a great way to detach individual tabs and move them on a second monitor so you can see everything of relevance without switching tabs. Also, we have the quick tab, which you can see here as well, which allows you to look into the machine room of Orbit Intelligence and lets you retrace why a specific hit was retrieved at all. And last but not least, keyboard shortcuts to switch results, tabs, or results. Ergonomy matters if we are screening more than 5 documents. Coming back to AI, the Sophia Lab is an assistance function to enhance understanding of patterns. So you can activate the tab, and before starting with the functionalities, users can select the language in which the output is supposed to be prepared, and they can choose which family member needs to be used as a source document. Once this is set up, we are ready to go into summary, claim rewriting, or claim graphs as the use cases. The first use case intends to make proper summary, short summaries of a patent publication and offers an improved title, abstract, a claim summary. And the second use case is simplifying the claim language, improving comprehension. Both use cases can help us in better grasping the disclosed subject matter. But we need to be aware that FTO needs to be evaluated on the actual claims. Going from text to a graphical representation is a game changer for my FTO process and allows me to save a lot of time. Visual analysis is always faster than reading. Comparing the visual against my high-level component list, I spot that the temperature sensor is missing in this document. The claim graph provides a visual hierarchical structure that makes complex problems easy to understand and to communicate. Each decision point and possible outcome is mapped as a branch, allowing users to quickly grasp the logic behind the analysis and the consequences of different choice, allowing me to handle complexity. Trees can be pruned or expanded as needed, allowing for dynamic adjustment, enabling me to design around with creativity. In short, understanding claims is crucial to carry out a good job, and understanding claims quickly is crucial for productivity. And the claim graph's contribution can be invaluable here. Okay, but what does it mean that the temp sensor component of our product is not here? some point, we have to dig deeper into the patterns, into maybe the individual descriptions. Instead of doing this manually, I delegate this task to a large language model via prompting. It's called Sophia Documents. So let me show you how this works in practice. In this example, we identified that one of our features is not claimed. With traditional review, this would mean scrolling through the claims and description line by line, trying to figure out exactly what has been disclosed and claimed, what hasn't, and why. Instead, with Sophia Document, we can simply type a direct question into the interactive window. For instance, we prompt it to show us paragraphs which are relevant to our FTO search and product. It is helpful to provide a little bit of context in any prompt. And within seconds, we get an exhaustive answer informing us which component is mentioned or claimed, with all references, making the job easier in validating AI's finding. No manual searching with Control F or something like that is required. If we are interested in the temperature sensor, go to paragraph 45. Done. Reflective film is also described. Paragraph 50. Done. The real value here is speed and clarity. This allows us to move quickly from identifying a potential issue to understanding it in detail. Like said earlier, FTO is about managing risks. What you can do, but should not do, is what I did here. I asked the LLM about implications for my FTO. The answer might be right, but it's strongly discouraged to use AI for legal advice. Use it to speed up information retrieval, but don't ask for business, strategic, or legal advice. As AI allows us to very flexibly prompt in any kind of direction, this is something we need to be very clear about. So here, the AI noted, for a full FTO assessment, consult a qualified patent attorney with knowledge of your specific product details and the relevant jurisdictions. Next up is our Sophia search. Sophia search is a new semantic search function with powerful AI capabilities. It's based on neural embeddings and allows feature-based searching. So going back to our product specification, we simply enter natural language text into Sophia search. Sophia search doesn't just match the exact words, it interprets meaning. It identifies patterns that are conceptually related to my input text. So global semantic searching is available for every orbit intelligence level. In the FTO context, however, it can be useful to limit the database before running Sophia. Therefore, we can set pre-filters in the advanced and premium version. Like before, we focus on alive patterns in the go-to markets. So all of North America, Germany, France, and Europe. The active pre-filters are now indicated at the top of the text box. We could also use this to restrict the search to known competitors, quickly check if players who most likely have their eyes on us anyway are in the field and if they are litigious. Now, this is the pre-filter thing, very helpful. Another powerful option is the features mode. And here, Sophia Search automatically extracts key technical features from the input text and proposes them as features to be searched. And now in the right list, we choose which features to use and we deselect the ones that we don't want to search. Let's use all the features. In the hit list, now 2 additional columns catch our eyes. The semantic match indicates how close the hit is to our input text without the features. And the feature match is counting how many features that we have validated are disclosed and sorts the list accordingly. Differentiation between full, partially, or non-disclosure is indicated in the bubbles. It's a great overview, isn't it? Now that we have the list in the correct sort order, do we need to trust the black box, which is AI? No, of course not, and we do not want to. Orbit intelligence philosophy always was putting users in the position to understand where something is coming from. For AI, we need new ways to validate its findings, but we should not blindly trust it. So through the Feature tab, Sophia Search, I can review the status of each feature for a given document, review snippets directly linked to claims or description, and trace back exactly which portions of text justify and support feature disclosure. Looking at the first result here, I see both a strong semantic match and a strong feature match. This tells me in an instant it's a relevant result I need to analyze deeply before. But before doing so, let's validate AI's finding. We enter the family view to have the description tab next to the Sophia search tab. And now we can proofread the snippets if the snippets are correctly supporting the features disclosure. And after this evaluation, we can choose if we include this result in our report. The prompt history, the conversation with the large language model is stored until you delete it, so revisiting this is made easy. These were the major components which are front, left, and center of any search. For FTO, some special searches and strategies create value as well, and we are going to look at some now. If we find relevant results, it's recommended to do a citation search. We always recommend to use both forward and backward citations as part of an FTO project. This is because both types of citations can find art that could have been missed otherwise. Citation search is an option in the hit list, and you can run it on a selection or all results that you have compiled so far. Earlier, we touched upon the possibility to have multiple FTO searching along your product development process. So if you do it a second time, you might want to see which documents you already looked at. And you can do this by storing your results in Orbit Intelligence in lists. Lists offer dynamic capabilities, meaning they're constantly updating, and you can save both FUMPAD and FULPAD entries. Opening a list creates a separate entry or a separate search step in your search history. So if you rerun your FTO search, you can take the results and subtract the documents and the families that you have screened already from the results. So you only get the delta, which what has been published since your first FTO search. This can save you time and lets you get clarity which documents you already checked and which documents are really new for you. Okay, we are nearing the end of today's webinar, and we've covered a lot, so let's take a step back. We started with a manual search query in the advanced search, supported by small AI functions like the suggestions for the keywords. We covered Sophia Query, automatically creating Boolean query just by our natural language input. We considered Sophia Lab, which supports reviewing patterns and assessing them with the support of AI. In-depth text analysis was made possible with Sophia Document, our LLM implementation. And lastly, we used end-to-end Sophia search to conduct a semantic search with a feature-based search on top. And it is Questel's vision to combine innovation with responsibility to give IP professional confidence in every decision. Finally, Questel provides you with consulting and search services as well. If outsourcing FTO or other prior art searches is an option for you, please contact your key account manager to find more information about it. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope this session has given you useful insights into how Orbit Intelligence supports your FTO activities. And now I'm very happy to answer your questions. What technology is used for Sophia search? The semantic search is a Questel technology. Everything is the technology is really coming from us and is hosted in our data centers. If we are talking about the feature mode, we are using external LLMs from OpenAI. Second. Can you save an FTO list and see 3/11 in brackets? How can one access all 11 results in the list? It's always helpful to look at it in the specific tool, but I guess 3 means we have 3 pattern families, and 11 means in total we have 11 full part entries, so 11 different prosecutions grouped together in 3 invention-based pattern families. So how can you access all of the 11 results in the list? You can open the list, and if you only see the 3 pattern families on top of your hit list, you can regroup them into prosecutions. So the 3 pattern families are broken down into 11 results in full part. The other way is you click into the individual pattern family, you open the family view, and now on the left-hand side, you will see the different family members. So you could click through all the different documents and prosecutions. Is it possible, or will it be in the future, to save our own prompts to the prompt library? This is a very good question, and we just had a meeting about this today. This is already available on the beta access of Orbit Intelligence. All of our clients have access to this. They can use the usual credentials on beta.orbit.com. And there, if you go to Sophia Documents, you already have the functionality. And we are foreseeing this to go live latest in 2 weeks. It might be next weekend, but I don't want to overpromise. Maybe it's going to take us 2 weeks. And you will be able to save, I think, 20 prompts. And you will have a dedicated tab in the prompt library where you can access your prompts. Can you quickly summarize which features are available with basic, advanced, and premium Orbit subscription? Okay, great question. First of all, big picture, we are envisioning the different levels to the profile. So Orbit Intelligence Essential is the traditional way of searching with little AI. So Sophia Lab is completely available. In the advanced search, the suggestions, that's completely available. What's not available is the pre-filter mode in Sophia Search and the feature mode in Sophia Search. So with Essential, you can do the global unlimited semantic search. So you get a lot of patterns that is relevant to your natural language input, but you cannot limit it beforehand and you cannot use the feature mode. You also don't have access to Sophia Documents. So it's really the traditional search, the expert, the pattern searcher who wants to stick to his or her guns. Exactly. Intelligence Advanced is enhancing the experience and the power of the Boolean searcher expert with AI capabilities. So you have access to the pre-filter and the feature mode in the Sophia search. You have access to Sophia Documents. And Orbit Intelligence Premium, you have more credits to execute these functions. And on top of that, you also have all the capabilities within the analytics part. That was not the topic of today's session, though. Is it possible to ask more than one document at a time with Sophia Document? Currently, it's single document, but we are already planning the V2 and V3 of this feature, and it will be possible quite soon to have a prompt evaluating multiple documents. Can we use cutoff date in Sophia search semantic searching? Yes, you can use the pre-filter. The pre-filter is exactly like the advanced search, so you can limit the database in any shape or form. So you can have stuff published before, after, between, ranges, measurements, keywords, classes, assignees. How does the Sophia search work the best? The detailed prompt with every claim element or on basis of the problem statement of an invention? That's a difficult question. It's best to discuss this on specific evidence. So it needs to be technical text. It needs to. There's no right or wrong answer. It's important that the solution is described because we want to find stuff that's relevant to your invention per se or to your product. It can be helpful to describe the problem that is solved, right? There's no definitive way of doing it. Is it possible to upload a technical document about a product for an FTO search? At the moment, it's not possible to upload technical documents directly into Sophia search. However, you can easily copy and paste relevant technical text into that, like I showed it with our product specification. And we already have it on the roadmap that you are able to upload documents, but I don't want to overpromise here when this is going to be released. Can the claim graph be exported or embedded into reports for internal stakeholders? Yes. If you're in Sophia Lab and you have created your claim graph, there's a button on the top right hand where you can quickly put it in your, I'm lacking the English word, yeah, but you can just click a button and then you can paste it somewhere else. I think that's it. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for participating in today's webinar, and thank you for using Orbit Intelligence. We hope to see you in the next webinar. Have a great day, and goodbye.